Hi children, good morning. And today we can discuss the poem Geography Lesson written by ZULFIQAR GHOSH. Actually, is a Pakistani American novelist and a poet and essayist also, who was born on 13th March 1935, at present 85 years, still alive. Actually, this place, it used to be Sialkot in the sense it used to be in Punjab, later on it is. And the bifurcation, it went to Pakistan border, and so he is a Pakistan now settled in America. Pakistani American novelist ZULFIQAR GHOSH. Okay. And his writing will be in a keen way, not in a poetic style or somewhat, in a reasoning purpose. Some of his writings, the contradictions in 1966, the murder of Aziz Khan in 1967, the native in 1972, the incredible Brazilian in the same year, the beautiful emperor in 1975, a different world in 1978, or some of his present adventures, we can say, often violent or a bit of perverse, of a man who has gone with the different ways, several reincarnations, several changes. That is his style. Here, in the present poem what we have in our English textbook, Geography Lesson, written by ZULFIQAR GHOSH. So basically his concept is, how about the earth? How about how clear the city? Into 2 or 3 parts he divided. See in the page number 34, I think, in your textbook. Please turn up your textbooks, right? So he was asking us some questions. Can you imagine what your city would look like if you saw it from 10,000 feet above the ground? That is the first question he asked us. Neatly planned and perfect in proportion, like a geometric design. How it will be, it seems. He questioned us, and a sort of answer also he was giving. It would be neatly planned, it seems, and perfect in proportion, like a geometric design. It would strike you as something very different from what it actually is while you are in the thick of it, it seems. Here is a poet's description of just such a view of the city and some questions that come to his mind. See, some of you children, you might have get an experience of a domestic flight. Maybe from Vizag to Mumbai, or Mumbai to Bangalore, or Bangalore to Chennai, or Chennai to here Madhurpudi, or whatnot. If you have experience, you can come to know if you have a window seat and aisle. Okay. So from a top view, if not all these, if you are staying in an apartment, just if you go to your 4th floor, if it is a terrace, from there if you see some of them may have this height phobia. Apart from that, if you have an experience of observing the road or whatever it is, they appear very tiny in size, right? So in such case, that example you can take now in the present description. The present poem doesn't have any rhyme scheme. Just a 24-line single stanza poem like thing it is. It doesn't have any rhyming scheme, right? Now I have completed the introduction part. ZULFIQAR GHOSH wrote about him. He's still alive, as I said. Naturally, any author or a poet in the sense, when he was born, when he was dead, but he is still alive, okay. I have said his mindset. And if we divide this poem into three parts, part 1, part 2, part 3, when we come to the first part, okay, in this first part, see, he is saying, when the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had. Seeing it scale 6 inches to the mile, there seemed an inevitability in the sense that cannot be avoided. There seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard. The meaning was also given in the very next page. Without plan or order, unplanned or without style. The meaning itself is given in the next line even. Unplanned and without style. When the jet sprang into the sky. So, a number of times we might have observed any YouTube videos or anything in the channels that take off of a plane or a jet. We'll be seeing. But when we are in that, he was asking us to dream. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had. So how is your city in the sense? You know about your area, your street, or 2 or 3 places where you mostly roam. For example, Kakinada. If we take this city, More you say, DMart you say, Spencer you say, school you say, or maybe your parents' working places, or the shopping malls, or the movie theaters, or bazaars, bus, band. We completed, our world is that. But what else you know? Is that the city? Is that the Kakinada? No. It has a wide range. It has a wide range. Almost all 10 to 15 kilometers radius of the city. Externally still more extended. But we don't bother. If our house is near to a flyover, very next to the flyover, and ours is a duplex or else a second floor or an apartment, then we can see some of the city going ahead, how the traffic is, how the people moving around. With that same example here, ZULFIQAR GHOSH is saying, when the jet sprang into the sky, it was very clear why the city is like this, without any principle of an organization on the ground. Ground in the sense earth. Again he repeats, when the jet sprang into the sky, because he saw all this when the jet, means the airplane was in the air. And naturally, there are similar jokes also. In a flight, the co-passenger says, when I see through the window, people seems to be like ants. Then the co-passenger will say, still their flight didn't start, isn't it? And in such a manner, when it sprang into the sky, we can say this. Okay, that's why he was repeating the first line, when the jet sprang into the sky, and on the part 1 and the ending, when the jet sprang into the sky. No plan, no style, nothing else. Totally zigzag manner. And it can be unavoidable things. When it comes to the second part, he was asking, so please look into the textbook, okay? Please do listen. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, it was clear why the country had cities where the rivers ran and why the valleys were populated. The logic of geography that land and water attracted man was clearly delineated. Means it is clearly shown. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, it seems, what happens there? The poet came to know why the cities of countries are located near the rivers, and also the valleys are so populated. If you take the Vizag city, beach will be very next to the road, where it is a part of a main road itself, RK Beach Road. Straight away goes to Rishikanda. That area is always busy up to night 10 or 11. In such case, Zuhu Mumbai, the west side of Arabian Sea we have. It also the most populated area. Most of the celebrities stay there. Okay, these are all the places. So he came to understand, the poet, why the cities of countries are located near the rivers, and also the valleys are why they were so much populated. And he was thinking, according to him, this land and water, which are lifeline and the reason for our survival, attracted the early humans. So more than the land, water is more. See, from 2 or 3 days, floods in the 2 states, even in Mumbai also there, but most probably in Telangana, Warangal area is completely in floods. When it comes to AP, both the coastal districts, mainly East and West Godavari, parts are highly affected, isn't it? And Godavari, mostly the Godavari river, it rises up to 62 meters height. So most of the small villages are totally immersed with water. Here, when we come to the poem, he was saying that the water content is more than the land content. These all he was seeing from the jet reached 10,000 feet. See, yesterday our CM visited from aerial survey how far it was affected, the flood was affected in the districts in AP. Vice versa, in Telangana also, the minister for municipality and building corporation or something, Mr. KTR also visited. Like here, Jagan visited CM, there itself the municipal. He also visited their aerial survey. My main topic is not that who visited. The persons who visited in aerial survey. Aerial survey means through flight. So from when they watch from the window there, they can see the large land massive affected with floods, small houses, all the tiny particles they can see there. Even the poet is also feeling the same. When the jet means airplane reached 10,000 feet, to tell that he came to know, means the poet came to know about all this only. What all this? More than Greenland, water is more, on which we cultivate food and make the shelter to some extent only. And it is a combination of land and water. In that, water mass is more. When it comes to the part 3 here, see there, the lines of page number 34. When the jet rose 6 miles high, it was clear the earth was round and that it had more sea than land. But it was difficult to understand that the men on the earth found causes to hate each other, to build walls across cities and to kill. From that height, it was not clear why. In this third part, the poet says that when the aeroplane was at the height of around 6 miles, it seems, it became very clear the earth is round and that it has more sea. Means here more water than land. That is a common part, as we know. We will be reading in the social geography lessons and all. Then what is new here? But the poet Zulfikar Ghosh, his point of view, which he want to convey to the readers, means to us, is according to him, he could not understand why people hate each other on earth. Because earth is less, na? Means the proportion, the ratio is less when compared to water. In the small earth, why these hates? Why they built walls? Means here it means borders. This country, this and all. This Pakistan border, India LOC and all, and China border. All this. Why they hate each other? Why they build walls across the cities or the countries and kill each other? Why all this? At such a height, means a 10,000 feet height or 6 miles highway, the poet here sees a single earth and wonders why people are single earth. No more earth is. We don't have two earths. We don't have how many countries we have? Around 200 plus countries, for example. But 200 plus earths we don't have. Earth is one. Only one earth. On this one earth, human beings are alive. They are being born. Then why these differences? Why these hates? No more love at all. See, this is the COVID time. Everyone are suffering. If someone passed away, they are not going nearby. They are not touching at all. They are not going, and they are not paying the last rituals or tribute or the respect. Finish. Where has been gone the humanity? Where has only the humanity? Humanity grounds love, affection, only to talk, only to hear, only to listen in books, only to listen from someone in audio tape or video tape or from books. Practically we don't want. Practically we won't share. Practically we won't do. That is the question which he want to ask to the readers by the poet Zulfikar Ghosh. You to think. Bye. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.